Hey kids, have you been clamoring for a remake of the movie Ghost from 1990 with Channing Tatum in the lead?
Boo this man!
No?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Well, you're pretty much like the rest of normal society. Monkeys, roll the footage.
That'll be $27.50.
Yeah, that works.
I like
All right,
that a lot.
All right, moving on.
Hey, what about Tulip?
Ghost remake eyed by Channing Tatum, but it needs to change a little bit because Ghost was problematic. This article came out yesterday over on Variety.com. Channing Tatum looking to remake Ghost. It's funny that Channing Tatum thinks he can step into a Patrick Swayze role, but let's see what the article has to say. It's, of course, written by Zach Sharf, who, if those of you are familiar with the channel, I've covered some of his articles probably a year or so ago when he was working over at IndieWire, I believe. This guy is a very ineffectual little man. So let's see what they deem problematic if they say in this article. Is a Ghost remake starring Channing Tatum on the way? Potentially.
Ghost House.
Roadhouse.
Ghost Road.
House.
Road Ghost.
As part of a new Vanity Fair cover story, Tatum revealed his production company, Free Association, has the rights to the 1990 romantic fantasy classic, and he's trying to develop a remake.
Why?
We actually have the rights, Tatum said. Yeah, we have the rights to Ghost. Vanity Fair goes on to report. He tells us about how this production company, Free Association, is trying to pull together a remake of Ghost, with him potentially playing the Patrick Swayze role. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is Channing Tatum a fitting replacement for Patrick Swayze? Now, as far as the dancing goes, I mean, yeah, the guy was in like Step Up and all that. But we're going to do something different, Tatum added, noting the 1990 original contains problematic stereotypes.
What are you, gay?
I think it needs to change a little bit, and have our Variety has reached out to Tatum's representatives for further comment. Ghost, directed by Jerry Zucker, starring Patrick Swayze as a murdered banker whose ghost sets out to save his girlfriend, Demi Moore, from enemies. Patrick Swayze's character gets an assist from a psychic named Oda Mae Brown, played by Whoopi Goldberg, in a performance that won her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Overall, Ghost earned 5 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, and also won the prize for Original Screenplay. The film grossed $505 million worldwide, becoming the biggest film of 1990, and at the time, the 3rd highest grossing film in history. A Ghost remake would not be the first time Tatum has attached himself to rebooting a classic comedy. The actor was set to star opposite Jillian Bell in a gender-flipped remake of the mermaid comedy Splash, although the project has yet to make it past the developmental stage. And Tatum stars in Magic Mike's Last Dance in theaters February 10th. Nobody cares, except for Lonely Housewives and Wine Moms. Nobody gives a
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
So one might wonder, what is indeed problematic with the movie Ghost? I didn't know. I actually went to see this in the theater when it came out with my mom and my cousins. I was trying to think, because I honestly probably haven't seen the movie in 20 years, if not more. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, what was problematic in Ghost? What on earth was so problematic in Ghost? And I had to look up an Inverse article, which we'll go over to and I'll talk about next, that kind of outlines some of the things that are problematic. And this is not by Channing Tatum standards. This was things that were pointed out by reviewers, more modern reviewers that have looked back at the movie, which always makes me laugh, because you can't take a movie that exists in a certain time period and, you know, move it ahead, 33 years now, and say, well, this is problematic because the stereotypes portrayed in this movie are... Yeah, exactly. It's 33 years old. It exists in the time period it was made. And spare me talking about stereotypes in the 90s, because we, as a species, were at our apex in the 1990s. We were more progressive than we were now. Now we're regressive as a people. We were more progressive. as a people. Entertainment was popping. Yeah, the 90s were the apex of us as a people. If the 80s were like, the opening act, the 90s was like the main event. And it's been steady decline since then in entertainment and across the board overall. If you don't believe that we peaked in the 90s as a species, then please explain to me why society thinks it's okay for men to pretend to be women and then play women's sports and do women's activities and be better than women and then get celebrated for being women, which makes no sense, because isn't that actual misogyny? Like, criticizing a movie with a female lead is now considered misogynistic, but being a male, mentally ill and dressing up like a woman, pretending to be a woman, winning a contest as a woman is not misogyny. It's stunning and brave. But let's take a look over here at Inverse and see exactly what these reviewers think is problematic about Ghost.
Oh, God. All sorts of things have gone wrong.
So we'll start out here with it says, Ghost isn't a piece of 90s flim-flam that's so bad it's good. It's a great movie that dishes out drama, thrills, and comedy in equal measure. There's reason why this, not Dirty Dancing, Roadhouse, or Point Break, would be my guilty pleasure of the Swayze persuasion. Many critics and moviegoers took less than enthusiastic view of the movie. Let's address the complaints of those naysayers. This is from People magazine. The film is dopily written by Bruce Joel Rubin. You lying snake is one of his big lines for Swayze. The zero perspective direction is by Jerry Zucker, who's been involved with on-purpose funny movies such as Airplane, but none that more richly deserve guffaws than this one. The writer of the article goes on to say, this dopely written film won Rubin the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, and yes, You Lying Snake isn't the harshest of movie insults. Why? Because Sam Wheat is too wholesome to dish out an expletive-ridden retort, and there's plenty of intentionally scripted humor, so in that case, those guffaws are well earned. Never heard of the Christian Science Monitor, but let's see what they say. What irritates me about the picture is its treatment of Oda Mae, the character Goldberg plays. In herself, she's a strong, personable, feisty woman, but the film insists on making her into a caricature. She's the only person who's made to look physically ridiculous with the crazy-looking outfit she wears during a major part of the movie, and her main function is to act as a servant for Sam, following his orders and speaking his words. Well, that's because she's a medium for a ghost. So she kind of has to, say the words that he asks her. She doesn't have to, but she chooses to say the words that he said. And she's faking being a psychic in this movie. She was Miss Cleo. Call me now for your free bumbleclot reading, Lord of mercy. Before Miss Cleo was Miss Cleo.
Call me now for your free tarot reading.
It was intentionally meant to be that way. This whole scene, saying this is problematic is so stupid, because it's like, if this was, and I'm going to say it, if this was a white person in this role, nobody would care. Nobody would care. But because it's Whoopi Goldberg, who is a communist Marxist piece of garbage, a smooth-brained idiot, I mean, she has to be a cast member on The View.
Yup!
It's problematic. Whoopi Goldberg is trash. And remember, lest we not forget, she co-signed to Ted Danson in blackface. Patrick Swayze is a corporate New York banker. The filmmakers know Swayze's appeal perfectly well. He has to move. He has to turn dancing into an act of lovemaking, and he has to take his shirt off more often than Sigourney Weaver. In all his athletic scenes, Swayze is just fine. It's the movie's big cosmic questions that throw him. For these, he's reduced to a look of total stupefaction. Not the movie's finest moments, although they may be some of its most collectible ones. The Chicago Reader says, there's something offensive about the movie's chintzy view of death and the way it periodically flirts with promising conceits, i.e. Goldberg offering her body as a surrogate so that Swayze and Moore can touch one another, only to back away from them in a cowardly manner, as cowardly a manner as possible. Death offers Sam Wheat a certain flexibility. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. The dabble into spirit surrogacy offers a brief moment of respite before the movie's climax. So how could this concept have been better showcased? Would the idea of a full sex scene between Molly and Sam as Oda Mae somehow have enabled a greater understanding of what was happening? It would have been pointless anyway, on account of Carl turning up to try and kill everyone. Right? That didn't make any sense. And people are freaking out about this because they use Oda Mae's. I don't think they ever showed, like I said, I can't remember, but I don't really think they ever showed much Whoopi Goldberg and Demi. I can't remember. It's been so long. But this whole, oh my God, the pottery scene. that's what they're worried about. Is the pottery scene, because they didn't show. I don't know. This is like I said. You can laugh at this because it's so ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as my member stream getting taken down the other night for showing a Waffle House fight with a bunch of Time Magazine, a bad movie that a lot of people will like. Though director Jerry Zucker wants his necrophiliac romance to be sensitive, he pumps up its feelings fortissimo so the dimmest viewer will get the point.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
I love what the article says. Necrophilia technically involves an unhealthy obsession with corpses, not spirits. Yeah, this writer from Time was an idiot. Rolling Stone, Swayze and Moore are attractive but mannered and self-involved in a way that works against instilling a sense of mutual loss.
What the hell is even that?
The New York Times, Ghost is too slow-moving at times, and a few of its special effects look incongruously silly, particularly those showing what happens to ghosts, not as virtuous as Sam. These days, as movie-making logic seems to dictate, it's the nice guys who are allowed to stay. And yeah, they're talking about the spirits. That scene was freaky. That scene was freaky as hell. It scared the bejesus out of me as 10 years old. I was more terrified watching that than I was of any of the horror movies I watched. And I grew up in the 80s watching all the slasher movies. Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, Critters, Ghoulies, Fright Night. You name it, I watched it. Nothing. Hellraiser. That didn't scare me. The scene with these freaking demons pulling homeboy here down really scared. And well, there was more than one time they showed them in the movie, but yeah, it scared the bejesus out of me. One Netflix user review. Here it goes, line by line. They break this down. To begin with, I hate all movies where the romantic male lead is a ghost or angel. A man shouldn't have to be supernatural to be loved. The romantic scenes were overplayed and the suspense was not believable. Oh, and by the way, I just couldn't get the picture out of my mind that when Patrick Swayze occupies the body of Whoopi Goldberg in the movie, shows him making love to Demi Moore, that it was really Whoopi Goldberg's body. Disgusting. But that's the thing, it wasn't. It's implied because he's a ghost, yes, but they didn't show it. It's Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. Why is this a problem? What is wrong with these people? Like, if you don't like the movie, like, you don't like the movie. But saying it's problematic, like, okay, valid criticisms, yeah, I'm fine with that. But problematic? If you put Ghost out with the trash, it would make the trash stink.
Garbage day!
Huh? No!
And this article was titled In Defense of Ghost. But like I said, the writer of the article, and this came out in 2015. This article from Inverse is in 2015. So I had to look back, 7 years to find what people were saying was problematic with Ghost. Let's take this thing home. So if you're one of these shrieking weirdos who's out here saying that a 33-year-old, well, this year it'll be 33-year-old movie is problematic.
Just ring your call button and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer because you're a retard.
He's out of line, but he's right.
You definitely have a few synapses that aren't firing on all cylinders here, folks. Problematic. Problematic, the word itself is utterly ridiculous. Much like the argument that Ghost is problematic because Whoopi Goldberg is an idiot and she has to, I don't know. Like I said, she was a fraud in the movie. She agreed to help Sam. And I don't know, just be a vessel for him to communicate with his dead ex-wife, well, widow. The movie was good. It was good for its time. It was enjoyable. Won a couple Oscars, and that's it. It's one of the legendary works of Patrick Swayze. So, like I said, I'm not just taking up for it because it's Patrick Swayze. I saw it in the theater. It was a good movie, but not something I would describe as problematic. Maybe a little kind of wonky at parts, but problematic, it's it's such a modern, stupid term used by smooth-brained leftists and Marxists. So that's it, folks. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of Ghost? Do you think it's problematic? Are you going to go see if Channing Tatum's Ghost makes it out of development hell and doesn't get dragged back down by the spirit demons? Are you going to go watch it? Are you going to check it out? It'll probably be straight to video, to be honest with you. But that's it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Ding the bell for notifications. If you want to take it one step further, become a channel member. $2.99, $4.99. Those are the memberships. Thank you to all 50 of my channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you. Holy shit, news is tonight? Oh my God, I swore. Oh no. That's tonight. The members after stream, the members after show directly following. So tune into that. I promise it won't get taken down. We'll be re-uploading Monday's stream. I'm Itepo Kuyan from the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
I could do this all
This doesn't bode well.
You're lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
It's a waste of good suffering.